Oh, busted. Are you in the pink? Not talking red, not talking black, not necessarily just talking about your business today. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with an idiom, in the pink. And a long, long time ago, hundreds and hundreds of years, in ancient times, there was a flower and it was called pink. It's just a beautiful flower called pink. And over the years, the term pink became synonymous with and used to describe beauty and something at its best. And after that, in about 1600, William Shakespeare, of course, used the expression in one of his plays, made it famous, but he used it to mean perfection. So in the pink came to mean physically and emotionally fit or perfect, really in good shape. If you were in the pink, you were in excellent physical and emotional health. Now, why are we talking about this? We often describe our businesses, they're in the red when they're not performing well, they're in the black when they are performing well. So if you're making a profit, you're in the black. If you're struggling and you're a little bit behind, you might be in the red. A lot of our businesses right now are, of course, like at all times across the spectrum, there's a lot more businesses that are operating this month and last month and probably the next few months in the red, and the owners are freaking out. We're not feeling like we're in the pink. Because when we're in the red, we're not in the pink. It's not red and white together to make pink. It's usually red or black that we're talking about with respect to business. Now, I've had businesses in both, right? I've had businesses that were failing financially and struggling. It feels bad. Oh my God, it feels so bad. Remember sitting at my desk some nights after everybody went home and, you know, looking at the stack of invoices and looking at payroll and wondering, you know, how the heck we were going to make it, because there's those times, especially in manufacturing businesses, and actually in every business, where sometimes as you're growing, especially, and you don't think that it's going to happen, but it's when we're growing that we find those financial challenges. And for smaller businesses, financing and funding often isn't available. I know if you've got a business, you know what I'm talking about. Unless you have a business that grows super duper fast and everybody wants to throw capital at you, it can be a challenge. It can be super stressful and super challenging. And I remember many a day sitting there wondering and juggling, who am I going to pay first and second and third, to make sure that we can survive, much less thrive. And that happened long before we had a pandemic. And I know the toll that took on me, both physically and emotionally. So it's important that we guard ourselves against the linking together our business right now and our personal physical and emotional well-being. And I know that's way easier said than done, but it's really imperative that we do that. No matter what's going on with our businesses, if we choose to, they're going to be okay. Are we going to maybe have to change things that we're doing? Absolutely. And if we're not wrapping our head around what are some of the changes I need to be making and thinking about and planning them out now, we're going to really, really struggle when our businesses reopen and we're out of the water, because there are going to be expectations and changes for absolutely every business. And if your business is shut down right now because it's not considered an essential business, your changes will be your businesses will be expected to make at least, if not more, changes than the businesses that are already running and operating, because they've had this time period to be changing on the fly. And I often think it's easier to be changing on the fly than it is to have a dead stop and then to have to get momentum and get moving again. So make sure to stay in the pink, and to make sure that your business, if it's stopped and shut down right now and you're feeling in the red, that you can get into the black as soon as possible. You can do that by physically and emotionally taking care of yourself. How do you do that? Well, you pay attention to what you're doing right now. How are you feeling right now? Honor that and say, how can I make myself feel better? What can I do every single day to make myself feel better physically and emotionally? Physically, it's all about what you're putting in your body. Are you drinking enough fluids? Are you eating right to the best of your ability with what's available right now? And are you moving? Are you actually getting your body moving? Are you getting out into the world in terms of just stepping out your front door? Even if you're just stepping out the front door, sitting on the front porch and letting the sunshine on your face, or out on the balcony if you live in a city, wherever, are you fueling your body, and are you moving your body? Physically, those are the two most important things. Emotionally, you just have to check yourself. What are you feeding your mind? What are you doing? What are you focusing on? What are you thinking about? Every single one of us, especially if our businesses are shut down, and if we've been guilty of saying, I don't have time, I can't do that, I don't have time. Shame on us for not grasping and being excited about this opportunity to actually do the things and plan the things and work on our businesses the way that I know I would have, and I know people are going to hate me for this, but I look at the gift and what's working and what's positive in this situation, which I do that in every situation. Even the bad situations have always taught me, and I've had some really, really bad ones, that something needs to change with the way I'm thinking, the way I'm doing something. And I hate that I attract bad things to teach me those lessons, but that's what's happened in my past. But every time something bad's happened, it's had to make me step up my game and become better, be a better person. And that's what we need to all do for our businesses and for all the people that we serve. So pay attention to what you're listening to, what you're reading, and who you're, I guess not only what you're watching, I guess everything that you're feeding your mind, pay attention to that. It doesn't have to all be good, but watch some funny, humorous stuff. I can't believe how many people, when we first got quarantined, were watching that pandemic show, or we're watching, I can't remember what the movie was, but when they containment or something, when they contained the people in Atlanta. I mean, really? Is that what you need to feed your mind, is some freaky people dying zombie movies? I guess whatever works. I actually watched them because they made me laugh, and the pandemic one gave me some education on what even a pandemic was. But I need to pay attention to what we're feeding our mind. And once we get over the shock factor, there's going to be grief. Whenever there's a change, there's a period of time that we all go through that we are really shocked and grieving our old life when we don't know what to do. But at some point we have to say, okay, I can't change what's happened. This has happened. It's outside of me. How am I going to respond to it? What am I going to do? And that's when we have to get ourselves in the pink. And we need to get ourselves in the pink for ourselves first, for our families, and for our businesses, to make sure that we can contribute positively to the economic recovery that's going to be required when we finally get clear and get a bill of health where we can start interacting with one another again. Is the world going to be the same? Nope. I can guarantee, I don't know what the world's going to look like, but I know it's not going to be the same as it was 3 weeks ago. And so we need to be preparing for that, each and every one of us, for our businesses and for our lives. Have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, see you tomorrow for another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you be able to apply it to your life right now to make your life more of what you want to be? All right. Have a great day. Be in the pink. Bye.